All right, never mind. But you can still walk into the arena and cookie hop over.
Hmm.
Anyhow, back on topic of this draft here. Invoker was picked up, which is why I was a little bit surprised that we don't see a Faces Void ban. You already have the Mars, the a Sunstrike with the arena combination becomes very scary, but it's even scarier with the Faces Void coming out.
I think Faces Void is one of those heroes that relies too much on jungling to fight because he can't fight like enough. You're stuck with like this super long chronosphere cooldown.
Mhm,
And like he can build the diffusal, but he's not as good as other heroes that build diffusal, right? So I don't know.
mhm.
Faceless Void, he feels a little bit weaker, but mostly just because he doesn't come online until like 20 minutes, whereas like a lot of other carries are like online and able to fight between like 15 and 20, and then are ending the game, trying to end the game rather between 20 and 30. So
Yep.
he's also
They went for
punished
this.
pretty easily in lanes usually, but we still might see it.
Mhm,
They could potentially still go for it.
mhm. But yeah, they picked up the Ogre Magi and the Snapfire. The Snapfire was nerfed kind of hard, wasn't it?
A little
They
bit.
ended up they ended up changing the little shredder armor reduction from 0.75 in attack to zero point 0.5 in attack.
Yeah, it's a good amount. I mean, the hero was way too strong level one. Go like with certain combos. Like if you're playing with like Tide Hunter or something, you just
Mhm,
like go gush into little shredder, and a hero has like -8 armor.
mhm. But they pair it with the Templar Assassins. They are going for that minus armor on the side of Wildcard. It looks like I do like the Templar Assassin pair with the Ogre Magi. My only concern is that outside your Templar Assassin, you don't have great damage right now.
I mean, Mortimer Kiss is a good amount of damage, but it is also just a super solid pick into the Invoker mid. Like it's always been a good lane for TA into the Invoker. You can kind of just bully him out, and you are one of the few heroes left in the game that can actually clear stacks and fast. So TA will definitely be taking advantage of the triangle stacks, the ancient stacks, stuff like that, as she is one of the only mid heroes left in the game that can actually clear them. So
Mhm. I mean, it still becomes a little bit difficult if any of the creeps get on top of you, but hopefully Snapfire will be able to make rotations and make stacks for the Templar, assuming that would be a Snapfire 4 and a Templar over in the mid. You think it's going to be a TA2 instead of a 1 this game?
I think it's TA mid. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
just way too good into the mid lane of Invoker. Like it's just like you. It's a favorable lane. There's no reason you not to put it there, unless you want to pick like another Invoker counter in lane. Then you can go for it. But I'm a little bit surprised by the Ancient Apparition pick here specifically.
They've got a lot of global kill potential here
Yeah.
between the Sunstrike, the Ice Blast, and then Mars setting up for these things with the arena. I do think that AA and Mars are pretty good with each other. I think that Mars and Mirana are pretty good with each other. I'm just not crazy about Ice Blast ever since they increased the cooldown at level 1.
And there it is. Safe lane Ricky. This
Mhm.
hero is pretty dang strong. They did nerf it in the B patch because it was definitely too strong. But he is a hero that doesn't really need to buy a lot of regen in lane. He has some of the best base stats in the game. He has some of the worst stat growth in the actually he has the worst stat growth in the game. I think total combined stat growth of any hero in Dota. I think Ricky is by far last. Um,
Was it? I thought it was Meepo.
Meepo's stats aren't that bad. They just buffed him.
Yeah. 2.6, 1.4, 1.3 on Ricky. Yeah, that might be the lowest.
Yeah, it's
His
like
base stats aren't great either.
no, his base stats are good in terms of like his base regen, armor, damage, stuff like that. Like
No, I
his
mean like
oh,
attributes.
his attributes are not, and that's intentional, right? They don't give him a lot of attributes, but they just like offset his low attributes by giving him good starting other stats, right? So he is one of
Yep.
the few heroes that can sustain himself in lane with very minimal regen. And right now,
Mhm.
with Diffusal being so strong and being able to purchase it even earlier, this hero has done quite well.
So yeah, so they buffed Meepo, so it's better than Ricky now.
Hmm.
So this makes Ricky now, I think, the worst overall stat growth rate in the game. Wait, maybe Tiny? Because Tiny has no agility.
He still has like almost 4 strength though,
Yeah, 4
which is like
strength
more than 2 of Ricky's
and
stats.
2.2 int.
So it's still more. Imagine
This is
not
a this is
having
not
a
a fun
single stat
fact.
and you still lose. You just like
What
don't get
a
to
what a
have
fun
Agi and
fact.
you're still worse. Unlucky. Chaos Knight last pick for APU. Oh man.
5 seconds.
Yeah, 5.3 total. Yeah. It's a fun fact for today. Ricky stack growth rate is absolutely abysmal.
Yeah, it's been that way for a
Yeah.
very long time, unfortunately. It's the
Mhm.
reason he's been borderline unplayable for 4 years.
Well, he was playable for a little while with the Aghanim Scepter build,
Yeah,
just
which
because
was
again you
quickly
couldn't
nerfed
attack
into
him.
oblivion after 1 week.
Yeah, and then he was, pretty good for a moment here on this patch, and people are still deciding whether or not he's playable. But Wildcard are going to play him. Eves is going to play him on position 1 this game. But Llama's going to play Timbersaw, which I very much like against the Chaos Knight and the Mars. You're just going to have to be a little bit careful against the Ancient Apparition.
Yeah, that's my concern actually. The Timbersaw is quite good against these, like, especially illusion heroes like Chaos Knight as well, because he just bursts
Mhm,
through them so fast with the pure damage. But
mhm.
Devi Llama has to be very careful with his positioning in this game. If he overextends and gets punished by Serum on this Ancient Apparition, your like momentum completely halts, and he does have to make a lot of space and momentum before Ricky can get this like Diffusal Manta or Diffusal BKB online. I think this game he's gonna need the BKB.
BKB is probably pretty important. I mean, it's not super hard to play around the Ancient Apparition Ultimate. I really didn't like it when they increased the cooldown from 40 seconds to 60 at level 1. The hero, he's like a 1 ability hero. I think they tried to make him a little bit better in this patch with how often the damage ticks on Cold Feet inside the lane, but I don't like how much this hero's kit is just based around his usefulness with his ultimate and how high the cooldown is and how much downtime there is with his ult.
All right. We are into it. Our second series of the day. For those of you who are just joining us, we've got APU King of Kings taking on the likes of Wildcard Gaming. This is an elimination series, so one of these teams will be going home. And we're starting things off with Mini's Grandmaster Invoker. I love this.
He'll probably be able to make some things happen this game. Again, you've got decent disables on your side. You've got the Chaos Knight. You've got Mars and Mirana in a lane together. And you've got Ice Blast to follow up your Sunstrike. So you think he'll go the Exort belt inside the lane this game?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. He's against a TA, so maybe, because when you have the Forge Spirits, it's kind of nice to... Ooh. He just caught them placing the ward, so he will know about that. It's kind of nice to be able to burn their refraction charges with the Forge Spirits, but the real question is whether or not you need to go Quas Wex, right? That's the other piece. It's like, the only time you like will go Quas Wex now is if you like need to have Tornado EMP as opposed to having things like, you know, the Forge Spirits and Sunstrike.
It's still useful this game. I think that Tornado EMP is really good against the Timbersaw. Just being able to burn out his mana and stop him from being able to, run at heroes. If he doesn't have mana to throw at his Chakram and Timber Chain, then, he's just a very slow walking, still unkillable, but very slow walking hero.
Dunha is doing the patented Ice build. I'm not sure if you've seen this lately.
I have not.
You just literally don't go any regen in lane. You just buy instantly double bracer, and that is it.
Bought Tangos just now.
Yeah.
With his extra starting gold. Double bracer, huh? I don't know if this is going to work against Nogre Magi. A lot of harass comes out from this here with Ignite.
All regen base, all like a lot of regen got nerfed. So the reason people just go bracer is because it's free regen, right? And it scales. So.
Yep. Yeah, and Sammy, he sees this and he's immediately trying to punish it. Just hit him with the Ignite, my man. Go for it. This is like the best thing you can do against it. Oh god, I end up missing First Blood because of that, though.
Yeah.
The kill off on the Alex.
Nicely done. I mean, that was just a good setup. Chaos Bolt into Arrow with Serum there. So, yeah, First Blood goes the way. I did not know. But yeah, First Blood goes the way of the Mirana, which will help her out quite a bit. She's got early boots. She can't really harass out Ricky too much. A lot of this, like we were talking about, just kind of due to his base stats. 4.5 regen plus 6 armor. He's not super easy to deal with. Remember when he used to have like 7 passive regen level 1?
That was tied to his ability, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was tied to when Cloak and Dagger was like
Yeah, he
level
only got
one.
it when he was invis though, right?
Yeah.
And so it wasn't great. Like you couldn't CS in lane if you were healing up, basically. So I think that's somewhat fair. I mean, same sort of deal as like Trank Boots, right? Or
Yeah.
how Trank Boots used to be, anyways.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, bottom lane, Timbersaw taking a lot of damage, but gets aggressive back onto Serum, so not the end of the world there.
Yep.
We haven't really talked about mid. It's Esk playing the Templar Assassin up against Mini. And
Who did end up going the Quas Wex build.
yeah.
So he'll probably start Tornado EMPing him once he's got 2 points. And he still went 2 points to the Quas right away, not maxing out Wex first. I guess he does need to regen back up. Esk has managed to get a decent amount of harass off onto him.
Bottom lane, Serum goes down to the damage there from Divine Llama. Alex falling low as well. Benny trying to finish off the kill. Ooh, that was a very long range auto attack there.
Yeah, he's got a very long mace.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, you need to when you're on horseback.
They did nerf the Blink Strike slow duration, I believe. Which, you know, unfortunate. Top lane doing hot. Is he enough? Do they have the damage? They do. All right, the rotation from Alex actually able to punish off the Mirana and chasing 4 more. Ignite will catch the Mirana underneath the tower, but she should be fine.
To be able to out heal this one.
Was it the talent that they already? I don't know. Blink Strike
What was the
has the Blink Strike slow that they added is so good. I'm not sure if you've seen this in effect, but having a slow on Blink Strike is pretty huge. But it does have a increased mana cost now.
It means that you're going to be able to get off like 2 auto attacks instead of just 1 when you jump on somebody with a Blink Strike.
It also gives you just that extra time you need to get a smoke screen down on a hero without with it being like perfectly placed before getting the diffusal. Because like sometimes beforehand you like Blink Strike, diffusal, then smoke screen, but now you can just open with the smoke screen then the diffusal because they're just slowed for that 0.8 seconds.
Yeah,
which is quite nice.
Makes it easy to play the hero for sure.
I just blew a lot of mana on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look at Double Bracer here, man. 1,000 HP on Mars. You can't bully him out
level
now.
3.
It's great stuff.
What a crazy time we live in. 1,000 HP at level 3. This would have been unheard of back in the day.
Yeah, this is just the most annoying thing about the game right now. Is like if you're just like I can't win the lane, you just go Double Bracer, and now you can't lose the lane.
I'd say that he's doing just fine if he's on Double Bracer here. I mean, he's still kind of struggling to get close to the lane.
Esk dies behind mid tower. Nice rotation there from the Mirana.
Ends up getting an auto attack on him, catching him out there. All right, down in bottom lane, Divine Llama, now level 5, 3 points in the reactive armor. It's possible that you're going to start cutting the creep wave pretty quickly here. You have to be a little bit careful. You're still worried about like a Chaos Bolt having an arrow followed up behind it, but I think that you can start to play aggressive here. I mean, that's part of the reason why you pick up the Timbersaw, so he can use this inside the lane by himself. Oof. You can build up stacks for him. Which hasn't really happened yet so far. I mean, they've built up like a stack over by the medium camp, but nobody stacked the Ancients for the TA yet.
Yeah, you're right, and that's what I was saying. She is one of the only heroes that can still clear stack, so I'm a little bit surprised that they aren't prioritizing like a little bit of recovery for Esk, since he did also just get ganked in the mid lane, and he's not really doing exceptionally well against the Invoker, despite it being what is supposed to be a pretty good matchup for him.
Instead, it looks like they're just trying to punish Denal here. I'm not even sure they're going to be able to get this kill. He's so tanky on the Mars.
You do have the Orb of Corrosion on Ricky, and yeah, he has queued up, I think, what is Treads into Diffusal, and then Yasha. So he is going to go for the Yasha instead of like an early BKB.
The power.
So where do you think this game's headed? Because this is very different than what we saw last game. Both teams are kind of playing pretty passive. Only 5 kills here, 6 minutes of the game. Whereas last game, in our previous series, we had, probably 10 kills by now.
I think This probably favors King of Kings. Ricky's a hero that wants to come out of the laning phase super far ahead and have a couple of items. I think he's not winning the lane hard enough. He's not able to like force Dunal out. Right now, he doesn't have a massive net worth lead over them anyways. The Temper Saw is going to scale pretty well into the Wraith King, or sorry, the Chaos Knight as this game goes late. But if it ends up going ultra late, then I don't think that's going to be the case. Templar Assassin is getting far enough ahead either. She's kind of been zoned out of the lane by the Invoker, and they haven't built up enough stacks for the TA yet either. I think that King of Kings should probably should have put somebody up into this triangle and put wards up for the Ancients, like, I don't know, a minute or two ago, but didn't end up having time for that. Eve looks like he's about to get a killer off onto the Mirana.
Yeah. Nice movement there with the tricks of the trade. Cookie on forward. Alex able to secure it. Yeah, he used a leap charge to get it up there to D ward, which ended up kind of regretting it as it allowed Eves to just chase you down. So top lane. Now that you are level 6 on the Ricky, you do have the damage that you would need to kill this hero like Mars. So he does need to be very careful.
Looks like they're going to rotate up here on the heroes and King of Kings.
Yeah. Ooh, spear off the mark, but EMP Cold Snap does a lot of damage out to Sam. Arrow's gonna miss it as well. He actually lives because of this. Oh no.
It is important that they get that kill as well. They just got the urn completed on the Invoker. He was hoping to get himself some charges. That makes finding kills with Cold Snap and burning in their fraction charges on Templar Assassin much easier.
Yeah, that's like a must find. Every time you make that early rotation with the Invoker after the urn, it's like always just to kill a support and get those charges, right?
Yep. So now he's going to struggle to deal with Esk as much as, or a lot more than he should anyways. But yeah, that's great for Wildcard, the fact that Sammy doesn't go down there. Divine Llama ends up finding a kill off on a Sarah. I mean, that was bound to happen.
Yeah, he's kind of just sitting in lane trying to keep what XP he can. Meanwhile, Benny jungling here on the Chaos Knight.
Try to keep him off the tower as well. I mean, doesn't want this tier 1 to just like go down for nothing. Like it's no XP, but it is important that the Ancient Apparition tries to get his level 6. Hopefully without eating up the tome, because you probably want to pass one over to the Mirana. But it looks like Divine Llama is going to start his cutting now. They've kind of accepted that one. Benny, he's moved over to the jungle and using his Phantasm just to like min-max his farm that he gets. They're making another rotation over here onto, at least I thought they were going to make another rotation off onto Sammy. But kind of difficult with the Observer wards here. And yeah, they realize that this one's up.
Good D word.
What's up?
So both teams just kind of passively farming at the moment, but Wildcard starting to look like they're pulling a slight advantage. And I think, like I said, some of this is because of the TA. She is that only hero, really, that can farm these big stacks in the jungles. You just see her finish up a triple stack of the Ancients, move her way to the hard camp, and now pretty far ahead of the Invoker.
Well, I think one of the reasons why the game's so slow at the moment is all these heroes, they need like... Oh, it looks like Sam's about to die.
Sam or Serum?
Serum.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Sam. I was like, what?
No.
Yeah, Divine Llama is just having a field day here on this Timber Saw. It's going to be able to force Benny out to the mid lane. Meanwhile, the bottom tower will end up finally collapsing, and Serum doing what he can to try and, again, pull as much XP as possible. We'll finally TP home, so. Nothing for Divine
managed
Llama.
to force a lot of these heroes away, fortunately, but didn't manage to get any kills. And for the top lane, Smoke Gank up onto Dunal. Maybe they'll get him this time.
Maybe. The hero is very tanky. He doesn't have a phase boots done yet. In fact, he's actually only queued up a Blink Dagger held inside of this smoke screen for so long. One more auto attack goes the way of Eves. Mini rotation in. Big arrow into that Ice Blast. Sam gonna shatter there. Kill goes the way of the Mirana, but you didn't find the other two, so.
But he got his urn charge finally.
He did get his urn charge,
vessel
that is true.
Yeah. 700 gold away from this one now. Divine Llama turned his eyes over to the mid lane here. They do need to respond to this one. He's got a catapult under his wave. So they'll lose a tier 1 tower if they don't deal with this.
He might die if he turns around. Yeah, he has to go all the way back to the tier 4s. Or not tier 4s, tier 3s.
Fine, keep your catapult alive. Ooh.
Cutting the TP locations just in case, but yeah. Hooded Defiance, Bracer, even has a chipped vest, so plenty of regen for this hero. Mini with his rotation back to the mid should be able to clear up this wave pretty easily here, so about half the tier 1 tower's health. Still pretty worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, we do have level 7 now on Serum, so Timbersaw has to be a little bit careful. If he gets stun set up on him, he will just end up going down. He's gonna try to go on to Benny. Again, you're not incredible. You're not like unkillable anymore. No, the Ancient Apparition is level 6. In fact, they're gonna go on to Divine Llama.
Yeah, they do find him. Tornado will connect. Ice Blast is there. He doesn't make it out this time thanks to Rally Rift. And like you're talking about, not unkillable, as Mini is going to be the one that finds the kill. Tip over to Serum, as now Mini will have the Spirit Vessel completed. So, very nice.
Yep. This Ancient Apparition hero coming into play now. And again, I'm not surprised that it took us a little while to see a little bit of action. And we're still not there yet. Several of these heroes need like a little bit before they're ready to come online. The Invoker is working on his Spirit Vessel. The Mars wants to finish his Blink Dagger. Ricky wants to get his Diffusal Blade, and obviously Templar Assassin wants to get like Dragonlance, Blink Dagger, plus one other item usually. So even though Gunner was saying that this patch it does play fairly fast, he likes that about it. They didn't really draft to play incredibly quickly on either team here.
I feel like Wildcard, I mean, they're going to hit their timing here very quick. Ricky does have his Diffusal now, which means he's going to start making rotations and finding heroes. So you do need to be careful once that comes through. Divine Llama dies a second time in the mid lane now with another Tornado EMP Spirit Vessel.
Yep. His game is a lot harder all of a sudden, dying twice in a row like that.
That's exactly what we knew was going to happen. This is the Timbersaw effect, man. I feel like this is always the case with Timbersaws.
Yep.
They get a little too cocky about their state of the game, and then they die twice, and then they're like, well shit, what do I do now? APU smoked up. Gonna actually cross paths here with ease. He happens to walk right into a sentry, and you got your Diffusal, and you instantly die. Mini taking a lot of damage from the Mortimer. Kisses the arena, however, comes right through, pins them in place. They're gonna be able to hold Sam as well as Alex inside of it, and it's gonna be 3 kills now for the way of APU after that one. Beautiful rotation from Dunha.
Yeah, wrong place, wrong time from Eves there as well. He got his Diffusal Blade completed and he's thinking that he wanted to set up a kill inside the enemy team jungle, but ended up walking into way too many people. And now they turn their eyes towards the mid-tier 1. Fortify on cooldown as well, so
money to good use.
Do a decent chunk of damage if they don't take it down. Looks like they're going to rotate in here and force, though.
Eves comes in, finds the Invoker, Esk with a DD rune. It's pretty big. Can they actually find the kill, though, is the question. Tries to purge it with that Tornado, doesn't end up connecting. Oh, my goodness. Esk, beautiful positioning on those side blades, able to help set up an extra kill there onto the Ancient Apparition. And now they're just going to take the mid-tier 1 tower, it seems.
But Blink Dagger just coming in on Dunal. They're going to be able to spear somebody back into this if they're not careful.
They don't have a Ricky scouting. Instead, they go aggressive onto the Chaos Knight and almost falls down. He is going to survive for the moment and does get pulled back, but Divine Llama there to finish off the kill. And now Mini in some trouble. Tornado buying a little bit of space, but double kill goes the way of the Timbersaw. So he's getting his sweet revenge here as he picks up a third. Now 4 heroes dead in the mid lane, plus the tower.
Is it too late for me to take back what I said?
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. You said something about Mars having a Blink Dagger. He's going to spear them back and defend the tower. Did I get all that right?
I sure looked very foolish. Almost as foolish as King of Kings for, defending that one and messing up the team fight, but...
I mean, you had a DD on the TA. It's just not a good time to fight, right? And on top of it, you did just get the Diffusal on Ricky.
Yeah, they controlled up the Templar's house. You didn't do a ton of damage there, but they did a great job of jumping the back line while the Marbs was trying to jump forward. Timbersaw catching out several heroes, and the good thing he did is his game got shut down pretty hard for a moment there, just dying twice in a row like that, but after finding 3 kills there, that mid-team fight, Devi, he's kind of back in it now. And he's looking for more.
Raise no hand in anger and your path.
Serum. Oh, they have detection. Ooh. Okay, gets him.
They don't need it.
He had a dust just in case
dust.
on Eves, but...
Yeah. not necessary. I mean, he was contributing to that kill there. I think he ended up dropping at the same time he went down, so the plus 25 damage from the dust. Did it get out of there? Let's see. Yeah, it did. 18 magical damage from the dust.
That's what finished him off?
No.
Oh.
It was the... It was
the
definitely the chalk room.
Okay, I was like, are you serious? The dust kill? Okay. Eves, under a sentry. He knows right away, and he's like, all right, I'm out. Gets caught by the dust, though. Nice smoke screen, Mars. You look quite foolish with your hands in the air right now. Mortimer Kiss is coming through. Blink forward in from S. They get the kill onto one. Ice Blast. Not really going to connect onto much. It does catch the TA. They do get the Spirit Vessel on top of her, but not the great initiation you would hope with the Ancient Apparitions. So they do kind of just back off on the side of APU. Wildcard thinking about going back in, honestly, it seems. Okay, so they go to Roshan.
Roshan, though. Yeah, they're waiting for the double meld strike. They don't double meld strike.
Convenient arrow. They actually dragged Roshan into the arrow. Triple meld strike. He's got an arcane, so it makes it very easy.
Yeah. He's trying to dodge out these spells coming on to him at the same time, but being forced to walk out the pit is delaying this one, and now you have to be worried about them coming in here. How much longer? 11 seconds. We have an Ice Blast available.
TA, but
they're trying to stall it for the Ice Blast. The
Ice Blast and Arena, they're both close.
Well. Yeah. And I think Wildcard realizing, okay, if they were going to take a fight against us, they would have done it by now. They're waiting on these cooldowns, so Ash just committing hard for the Roshan, but is now completely out of... All right. Arcane Boots give more mana, but the arrow hits him.
Arrow! Oh my goodness, they go in the spear, ends up kind of saving him though. The Roshan does fall, they grab the Aegis onto the Mirana, but TA does die in the process. Bursted down is also going to be that Snapfire Sam in a rough spot, surrounded by 4. You did trade for the Invoker. Mirana, Reincarnation comes through. There's be the Spear. The Arena comes through, finds Eves. Can they actually finish off the Violama, though? Chakram does come through. Benny trying to find the kill, but he hasn't got him quite yet. Eves in trouble now. The dust has connected and just gets bursted down as well. Controlled up by Benny here on this Chaos Knight, and a fantastic fight there from APU.
Yeah. So that happened in very short order. He got speared out of the Ice Blast, but he got pulled back in by the Chaos Knight again. So the Ice Blast did end up finishing him off in the Templar's ass, and that's exactly what they need to happen. But they stalled that out for long enough for the Ice Blast to come back up off cooldown, is what happened there, forcing the TA out of the pit. And she kind of walked awkwardly for a couple of seconds, was outside the pit herself, so she wasn't able to get the auto attacks off on a Roshan, not being able to attack outside the pit there. And I think that's what did it. Gave them just enough time on APU to get these abilities off of cooldown and be able to take that team fight there. So a much needed win for them as well. Because it was starting to run away with the game, but after getting the kill off on those core heroes and Sam buying back in the game despite not having a TP, so kind of had to walk his way into the fight and being a little bit for nothing, gets him back into this pretty big net worth swing off of that last team fight. I don't think the network graphs is completely updated yet, but I think it ended up being like 3K off of that. We're only like 18 minutes into the game, so pretty big.
There was, what is this about? Almost an 8, 7 to 8K gold lead at one point.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 7K, so now down to 5.
Mm-hmm. Plus, these heroes are still going to be off the map for a little bit, so net worth change as far as having control of the map is going to come into play as well. They do need to take some of these tier 1 towers right now on King of Kings. And tier 1 up in the top lane still looking pretty healthy. Tier 1 mid still standing. So surprising they were able to take that team fight, but we're still so early in the game, but you're kind of hesitant to drop a buyback on any of your core heroes to take a rush fight.
Get a G
Unfortunate
out
that
from
the Invoker went
Wildcard,
down
but
at the beginning of that.
still waiting for APU.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's unfortunate Invoker went down at the beginning of that team fight. Would have been nice if he could get himself some XP or gold. I'm not sure how he's going to deal with this Ricky, but it looks like 4-staff is his solution. He's almost got that one completed. And he's got a Midas kit up afterwards.
Yeah,
do you think Ricky just goes into... excuse me. He goes into Nullifier?
Nah, you need the BKB. I mean, he is going to go... He has like a Yasha queued up into Manta. I don't think the casual Yasha is bad if he still gets the BKB, but this is a game where I feel like you might actually just need BKB, so... A little bit strange, but Eves would rather have, I guess, the damage from the Manta style instead, and is going to just rely on his ability and his team to, you know, not have to go BKB, I guess. Smoke up from the side of APU. At the same time as Wildcard, they are basically on opposite sides of this mid lane, though, so I don't think we're going to see anyone actually colliding past. There is the Mirana mid.
Yeah. So you're about to lose Jupiter.
Both teams looks like they're just going to go ahead and try and cut lanes, and Benny just commits to try and get this tier 1 tower. They pop the fort actually for a moment. Bottom lane, Esk forcing the tier 2, as well as the help from Alex, the little shredder, plus the Deso doing some serious work on the tier 2 tower. This would be outpost, obviously, if they can get it, so we might see them just go ahead and fully commit for this, and it looks like that's exactly what he's going to do. Meanwhile, mid lane, Benny gets gone on, or rather, Benny goes on top of Divide Llama. He's able to dodge out the Ice Blast, but he does get the BKB. So ends up being a pretty decent exchange there as they get the bottom tier 2. They force the BKB out from the Chaos Knight, as well as the Ice Blast out from the Ancient Apparition.
Yep. Eski's a double damage rune over in the bottom side of the river as well. They're going to be more than happy to take the team fight, especially with this BKB. The Chaos Knight on cooldown. Bottles that one up. Yeah, you're about to lose your tier 1
Invoker
mid,
just walked under a sentry. He's fallen quite low, but looks like they decide not to go for the chase. Well, some people decided not to go for the chase, but Divide Llama cannot be convinced and ends up paying off big as Alex snipes him with the Mortimer Kisses.
Yeah, well done. Continuing that chase there. So he got the 4-staff completed, got away from Ricky, but it still didn't end up saving him. Your tier 2 tower is now down to Askin. They've used Fortify as well.
Yeah, they have. And Esk has DD runes, so he's just going to start doing damage onto the tier 3. Top lane, Mars will just TP home, so they do know about that. Trying to get aggressive here outside of the mid lane.
And the BKB's now off of cooldown.
Yeah.
Was still on cooldown when he initiated that one, but with that, I think they'll back off, and they're going to be more than happy. Still need to grab control of this outpost. They can dial out of XP to the side of King of Kings. There's 2 bounty runes sitting here as well.
Very nice.
Yeah. And Esk is now going for the BKB. I mean, this is what it's going to allow you to sit on top of the high ground, deal with Invoker much easier as well.
Yeah, they're back to that 7k gold lead after the Roshan, so feeling pretty good, I think, after that one.
Mm-hmm. Man, they need so many items right now on King Kings in order to deal with the team fight from Wildcard. I mean, this Templar Assassin is now starting to get into pretty scary territory. Once she's got the BKB completed, like, you're going to very much need Heaven's Halberds, like, drop onto her as she jumps in before she gets the BKB off. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure she just destroys your entire team.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Mars has a BKB queued up. Benny on his way to the Shadow Blade. And where are we on Mini? So he did finish the 4-staff. He is still going back for the Midas, knowing that he is falling behind in net worth. But Midas feels pretty rough getting it this late, considering how fast these games seem to end.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure that Midas is the build right now. Man usually knows what he's doing, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm just not sure he's gonna get much use out of it at this point. So he's hoping that this game ends up going late, but I'm not sure Wildcard are wanting to take this one late. And it looks like they're making the beeline up here through the enemy team jungle. Yeah.
Blink defusal instantly to BKB. So once again, Chaos Knight, they forced the BKB out of them. They're debating on continuing the chase, obviously, since they do have BKB here on the TA, and Divide Llama getting very aggressive here on the Timbersaw. Benny will be able to TP home. Mars has no TP. They're going to TP out of the Mirana, looking for more. They do see Serum in the trees here on the Ancient Apparition. Pops the Ghost Scepter for a moment, but I ain't going to save you. Dude, look at the Mars right now.
Look at the Chaos Knight right now.
Chaos Knight's dead. What the heck?
Yep.
Did he just show bottom? They just all TP'd outpost?
He showed bottom. Everyone TP'd over to the outpost there. That's exactly what happened.
And that is, I mean, that's a whole lane of barracks. Maybe 2, honestly. they take this very quickly, and there's creeps already down here. No one able to cut the bottom wave, so.
Yep. They had Fortify, but they're not going to gain backdoor protection here before these creeps arrive, so it'll buy them 7 seconds, but that's about it.
It looks like it's not going to be 2 lanes. It is definitely going to be a singular lane here if Esk wants to commit for it. Ice Blast.
Maybe not even that.
Okay.
I mean, we never committed the BKB on the Esk, so he might be able to stand his ground and go for the racks if he wants to, but...
I feel like they can. They just used Ice Blast, right? Like...
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Eves was able to kill the Mirana off on the other side of the map as well. So doing what damage they can. The Barracks, backdoor protection again for the moment. Spear will catch Timbersaw. Fire Blast coming through. Looks like Divine Llama not going to lose his mana here today, but again, just trying to chip at this melee Barracks. It's taken him a little bit longer than we probably would have expected. Jumps in, Divine Llama in some trouble. The Spear in the arena. The Barracks, it's actually not inside the arena, and TA still doing a decent chunk of damage to it, able to finish it off, gets the blink out in exchange. So you lose the Timbersaw, you get a melee Barracks. Not that worth it.
Yeah, I would think they were just going for all they could grab while they lost that rack there, so they did manage to get the kill off on to Divine Llama. They end his kill streak, and it's worth a lot of gold, don't get me wrong. I mean, look at that.
1400.
You can see kind of, yeah, how the formula has changed in the more recent patch. But they back off immediately afterwards. I mean, we're going to see Windrush is going to respond in the next 10 seconds here. We're going to have tier 3 neutral items coming up. I think they're more than happy to take this time to back up now on Wildcard. It's going to be a 30-second Roche respawn.
Yeah.
They don't have a trap inside... do they?
No,
No, they don't have a trap inside the pit right now. That was on Radiant Vision.
If you're Wildcard, I mean, you're super happy about that, right? Like, you get the bottom lane of Barracks. You just get the slow push in the bottom lane now. And
I mean, it's not good to lose a huge kill streak in the current patch, but I think things are going about how they want them to.
Yeah. Next Roche will obviously have the Shard on it, which will be very good for either team. I mean, right now I look at Wildcard, Shard on TA is probably one of the strongest. It's also not bad on Ricky because you can just isolate a hero out of a fight completely.
Mm-hmm.
But like playing Ancient Apparition and just getting hit by Sleeping Dart, you're like, oh, well, I guess I'll die now.
That's cool.
He does actually have a Ghost Scepter to try and keep himself alive, and it is actually good against the Ricky. But
yeah, that's what I was thinking, that Nullify might be an option to counter out both the Force Staffs and the Nullifier. Or sorry, the Force Staff and the Ghost Scepter. He'll
definitely want one eventually, right? Like, Nullifier is one of Ricky's favorite items.
Yeah.
Invisibility.
But match style's been a priority. It's not like he's the main carry either. When Templar Assassin's in the game, he doesn't have to do tons and tons of damage. S can pick up the slack.
That is a very fast
Roche. Very fast, yeah. No way they're going to be able to defend from this one. And next, they're going to turn their eyes on the tier 2 tower up in the top lane, because that's how they take mega creeps here.
Actually, go ahead and do put the shard on the Ricky. So Sleeping Dart online. They did change the sleep duration from 4 to 3, but it's still so good. It's got great cast range. If you see a hero in these fights that you just want to be able to remove from the fight, you just hit him with a dart, you know?
Yeah.
Put him to sleep.
Yeah, they're going to make quick work of this tier 2 tower up in the top. I mean, Invoker and Mars, both great heroes at defending the high ground. They've got BKB on the Mars completed as well. But even with that, fighting into the Aegis, fighting into a 9-second BKB right now on Esk, I'm not sure they can pull that off. Benny's going forward with the Silver Edge. He's trying to catch somebody out, but they already placed a sentry preemptively. So if he walks outside the base here, he just dies.
Yeah, that's going to be a rough one. Oh, nice dodge. Dude, Sammy's hitting all the good luck there.
Yeah. I don't manage to do anything that wave. Mini, I mean, he's shoving the bottom lane. Hopefully he can take the tier 1 tower while they try to do this slow siege over in the top lane. Mine is off a cooldown though. Uh-oh.
Hate to see it, you know.
Yep.
Eves is bottom. Oh my goodness. If he actually finds Invoker, this is huge. He doesn't have Dust though. So you don't actually have Dust on Ricky, so I don't think you can actually find this kill.
I mean, he doesn't... I'm not... Oh, he knows he's there now. He's hit with the ghost walk, but yeah, like you mentioned, did not have dust.
He's kind of just waiting for Mini to show again, I think, though, is the thing.
Yep. But with the Ricky illusions here, Invoker is not going to show himself. It's been relatively slow. They didn't do much damage to that tier 3 tower up in the top lane. They lost like 100 HP for all the time they were standing up there. Mid lane divide trying to keep that one shoved in as well. So doing whatever they can to try and dodge a fight right now on King of Kings.
And they're trying to set a trap bottom for Ricky right on this like tower on this high ground ward, but it's not happening as Esk is just working on your base instead. Aegis is going to be able to protect the TA for the moment, so Ice Blast is down, so is that Phantasm, but Benny, those illusions just die so quickly, and now he's got to run. BKB is expiring. Question is, can you actually find the kill? And turns out he didn't get the Lotus Orb off in time and just gets absolutely crushed on the backside. And the back, Mars able to blink forward, finds the arena, holding Esk down, but he will blink out. So 2 heroes dead now. A really solid defense here by APU. The question is, can they hold even more?
Yeah, the answer is yes. It looks like it would just fine. I mean, it is very difficult fighting into the high ground against all these heroes with abilities to displace you. I mean, you have to play against Deafening Blast, Arena, Spear, and of course, Reality Rift on the Chaos Knight. So being pulled further into the base makes things super hard for you. Exactly what happened to Templar Assassin. She's kind of forced to expend her ages. BKB, she comes back up, but you know, at that point, the heroes are so separated in these team fights that it's pretty easy for King of Kings to take it. Ends up being like what 2300 net worth swing off the back of that one, and even though they ended up clearing out the Phantasm Evolutions pretty quickly, they did the damage. They ended up doing like 3200 in that team fight on the CK.
I mean, that's a lot. Yeah, Benny, I mean, he basically just got to sit on top of the Timbersaw. Like Timbersaw got pulled all the way back into the base without using the Lotus Orb, so he basically just got chain stunned without, you know, reflecting any of these stuns back. So a little bit of a misplay there from Devi Lama. Otherwise, he may have survived.
Mm-hmm.
But really good positioning on the Mars arena that time, able to just completely trap the backside of the team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they hold. I mean, this is kind of what their team is built for. If it ends up going to the super late game, I'm not sure that they'll have the advantage even at that point. I mean, Ricky and Templar Assassin become super scary in the ultra late game. I think that, you know, TH is gonna be able to blow up the back line, as is Ricky, but he will need like nullifier for that one. And he's still a pretty long way off that. So they'll stall this out, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough. Well, now the Ghost Scepters and things will keep them alive. Rondo's got a Yules queued up as well. I think that's kind of a better solution. So the moment the Ricky jumps you just drop the Yules off onto him, even if he's got that nullifier completed. The issue is that he's got a Manta style, so you might accidentally hit one of his illusions as you jump him. If he pops that right away.
Yeah. You still don't really get out of the smoke screen is the problem.
Yeah. Well, you're kind of just stuck there. It does save you a little bit of time, but the question is if your team is going to be able to do enough damage in that time. And with BKBs in the late game, it's just going to be CK doing damage to these heroes. Invoker, you can pump out a lot, but not the enemies are magic immune. He's sitting on a bunch of net worth at the moment, though. 3.6k on the Invoker. You think he just turns this into an eggs for a Cataclysm?
That's what I was just looking at. He just has so much money he's sitting on. I think he has to go BKB. Because it is really rough. Like if he gets gone on by like TA or like the Ricky, like he has like one escape in the 4-staff. But I don't know. He might just go for something more offensive instead.
Yeah. But yeah, like you mentioned, he could just straight up lose the game off of it if he doesn't get a defensive item. They manage to jump him on the backside of the fight. S could blow heroes up pretty fast as well, so it's possible that he wants to build an armor item because right now Esk almost has this Daedalus, and he could just get 2-shot off of a crit. Before you're able to react, you just end up going down. That'd be a hell of a way to lose this game after you manage to defend in that last team fight like you did. He's only, what, like 1,000 gold away from this one as well, so he'll have that one up pretty soon. Okay, in the meantime, one of my concerns is that I don't think it's about Ogre Magi. All he really offers in these team fights when you're trying to breach high ground is the Bloodlust.
Yeah, they haven't really had a lot of levels into the Bloodlust, honestly, either until very recently. Like Sam definitely maxed out his Q and W, and so now that you have more and more levels of Bloodlust, it is going to be pretty strong.
I hate the concept of Bloodlust. I think it's kind of outdated. Because again, it's not like you play like 1v5 Dota anymore where you throw buffs onto the heroes. Just supports, it's very important that they do things. Outdated ability is what I'm trying to say here.
I know. Bloodlust is pretty cool. Pretty great ability, I think.
I bet you think Storm Surge is cool as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love that ability.
Arcane Rune scouted bottom here. I mean, it looks like Wildcard is kind of just content farming. I don't really blame them, to be honest. Like, you don't have Aegis anymore. You can kind of just wait until you get your next big item. That being said, S did finish up a Daedalus, which is a pretty big item. APU are going to smoke from their base, though.
Wait, does he have any charges on the Daedalus?
Deso.
Oh, sorry, on charges on the Deso?
I don't know, actually.
I don't think I can see them inside the backpack. We'll find out once he's got the Arcane Rune done. I should have been paying attention to that. I keep forgetting up until I see like the Desolator buff on the hero.
Man, they are looking for Eve's top, or just anyone rather, but they're not going to find it. They do see the sentry get planted, so they do know exactly where they are here on the side of APU. Ricky standing next to Benny, but both protected by the moment. And another smoke this time comes out from Wildcard. So they are drawing the line. They want to go into the enemy triangle. But Moonlight Shadow is currently running. Are we actually going to see a fight here, Neff, is the question. Both teams have just been slightly passing each other for the last few moments. Looks like Murano's ult will expire in the mid lane. Question is if they can actually finish off the Murano.
I don't think they want to walk up into the triangle here. It looks like S did a pretty good idea where they are. Yeah, they see them all now.
Well, they just instantly dropped the Mortimer Kisses. Double BKBs right away. Mini just gets absolutely destroyed. Ice Blast does connect onto all of the cores, but you lose Benny as well. Cookie on forward, looking for more. Divine Llama not satisfied. Sleeping Dart to hold the AA in place as they just get absolutely wiped here, one after another, and then just instantly GG out.
Yeah, that trap that the TA ended up placing ended up catching out 3 heroes there. Just way too much information off of that. And they went, okay, well, we know where they all are. We can just jump on top of this. Mortimer Kisses came out, finished off the Invoker, and he ended up buying out to buy Shiva's Guard because he was concerned about that thing that I was talking about. He was getting jumped on by the backline by the Templar and getting 2-shot, but magic damage was what ended up finishing him off. So bought out for almost no reason there on the Invoker, and Wildcard managed to carry this one out.
Dude, he took so much damage from those
23.
Mortimer Kisses at the start of that fight, and then it was really just Ricky and TA chasing him down at the end. But
and that was all just a roll of the dice there. Like he managed to throw out the trap there. It's just like the perfect time where 3 heroes were on top of it, and they had so much information off of just that.
Yeah,
it was the moment they were all on top of each other as well. And so they thought, okay, well, it's go time. We can just jump this, and they definitely did.
Yeah, it was really well done. Really good knowledge of just how strong that they were. And it kind of makes sense. Like the TA is definitely like the ultimate carry of this game. She had just finished up that Daedalus. So we got a 33-minute game, a little bit more life maybe than what we saw in our previous series. But yeah, it's games are looking quite short now.
I mean, that one went reasonably long, 33 minutes, but it definitely turns on its head faster than it did previously. We'll see if APU manages to adapt at all in the upcoming game, but Wildcard looking pretty good.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to go to a quick break, everyone. Stay tuned for our game number 2 here in the second series. It's APU King of Kings versus Wildcard. We'll see you then.